You can have dreams or visions of the future. You can see round corners and such things. Only ignorance denies these facts.
What if the world around you is filled with secrets hidden in plain sight? Truths so profound that once you notice them, nothing will ever look the same again. The answers to life's biggest questions might not be far away, but are right here, woven into the very fabric of your reality, waiting for you to see. Symbols influence our perceptions. The truth is there, in symbols that surround you every day, in the designs of buildings, the logos of corporations, and the icons of culture. These symbols are clues left by those who understood something far deeper than the surface of life. They were the builders of temples, the keepers of mysteries, and the architects of ideas that have shaped entire civilizations. They were the masons, not just workers with stone and mortar, but masters of a language that few can read. Imagine unlocking this hidden knowledge, learning to wield the same force that shaped empires and inspired revolutions. This is not just about understanding history, it's about discovering the key to your own transformation. The builders of the past left a blueprint, not only for cathedrals and monuments, but for the human soul. Once you see it, you'll never look at the world the same again. The builder's journey is a story of purpose, discipline, and awakening. These ancient craftsmen didn't just construct physical structures, they built symbols into their work, embedding messages for those who would come after them. Every stone they laid and every line they carved was filled with meaning. To the untrained eye, it was just a building, but to those who could see, it was a map, a guide to something far greater. The Masons believed that the process of building was sacred. It wasn't just about shaping the stone, it was about shaping the self. They saw their craft as a reflection of the inner journey every human must undertake. To build a temple, they said, was to build a soul. Each foundation had to be strong, each pillar true, and each detail aligned with a higher purpose. This is where the work of the Mason becomes relevant to us. Though most of us are not builders by trade, we are all architects of our own lives. We lay the foundation for who we are in our thoughts and actions. We shape our character, brick by brick, through the choices we make. And just like the Masons, we must ensure that what we build can withstand the tests of time. Some interpretations of Masonic traditions suggest that their craft was viewed as mirroring the divine process of creation. The universe itself, they taught, is a great work of architecture, governed by precise laws and shaped by a master plan. To align oneself with these principles is to live in harmony with the forces that guide existence. This alignment is not just philosophical, it's practical. It means building a life that is strong, balanced, and purposeful, a life that stands as a testament to the builder's art. One of the most profound lessons from the Masonic tradition is the idea of the cornerstone. In construction, the cornerstone is the first stone laid, and it determines the position and stability of every other part of the building. For us, the cornerstone represents the foundational principles upon which we build our lives. What do you value most? What guides your decisions? What do you stand for when everything else is stripped away? The foundational principles. The Masons teach us that to build well, we must first lay a strong cornerstone. The builders of the old knew that every great structure begins with a solid foundation. For us, that foundation is character. It's the strength to stand firm in our values, the discipline to strive for excellence, and the courage to face challenges with resilience. Just as a shaky foundation can cause a building to crumble, a weak character can undermine the life we are trying to build. This means grounding ourselves in values like honesty, integrity, and perseverance. These aren't just abstract ideals, they're practical tools for navigating the complexities of life. Without them, our efforts become unstable, like a building without a foundation. But when we anchor ourselves in these principles, we create a structure that can withstand the storms of existence. Yet the cornerstone is only the beginning. The Masons also teach the importance of the pillars. those upright supports that hold the structure together. In their symbolic language, pillars represent strength and wisdom. Strength is the ability to endure challenges and remain steady under pressure. Wisdom is the insight to see beyond appearances, to understand the patterns that shape reality. Together, these qualities create balance, allowing us to navigate life's complexities with both resilience and clarity. The Masonic builders also teach us the importance of precision. Every cut they made was deliberate, every measurement exact. They understood that even the smallest mistake could throw the entire structure out of balance. In the same way, we must be intentional in our actions and mindful of the details that shape our lives. Each decision, no matter how small, is a piece of the larger whole. As we build, we must also remain aware of the greater design. The Masons didn't just focus on individual stones, they worked with a vision of the entire structure in mind. They understood that their work was part of something larger, something that would outlast them. Similarly, we must see our lives as part of a greater story. Our actions don't exist in isolation, they ripple out, affecting the world around us in ways we may not always see. The work of the Mason doesn't end when the structure is complete. Maintenance is just as important as construction. A building must be cared for, repaired when damaged, and occasionally renovated to meet new needs. The same is true for our lives. Even after we've built a solid foundation and erected strong pillars, we must remain vigilant. Challenges will arise and mistakes will be made. But with watchfulness and effort, we can ensure that what we've built continues to stand. The tools of the Mason, the compass, the square, the level, are more than physical instruments. They are symbols of the qualities we need to build well. The compass reminds us to set boundaries and stay true to our goals. The square represents fairness and alignment, ensuring that our actions match our values. The level teaches us balance, showing us how to navigate the highs and lows of life with grace. This journey of building is not just about external achievements, it's about inner transformation. The Masons spoke of the rough ashlar and the perfect ashlar, the uncut stone and the polished one. The rough ashlar represents our raw, unrefined selves, full of potential but also imperfections. The perfect ashlar is the goal, a self that has been shaped and refined through effort, discipline and self-awareness. To move from the rough to the perfect is not a task to be rushed. This transformation from rough to perfect is not a process that happens overnight. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to confront our flaws. It means chipping away at what no longer serves us, smoothing out the rough edges, and polishing ourselves until we reflect the light of our highest potential. It means striving for balance and integrity, even when it's difficult. And it means always keeping the greater purpose in mind. It's hard work, but it's also deeply rewarding. Symbols, too, are an essential part of this journey. To the builders, symbols were not just decorations, they were tools for understanding the universe. A compass represented precision and direction. A square symbolizes fairness and integrity. These simple tools carried profound meanings, guiding the builders not only in their craft, but also in their lives. When we begin to see the world through the eyes of a Mason, we realize that symbols are everywhere. They are not just isolated images, they are part of a larger language, a language that speaks to the soul. The builders understood this, and they used their craft to communicate truths that words could not capture. To embark on the builder's journey is to see the world and ourselves through new eyes. It's to recognize that the same principles that guide the construction of great monuments also guide the construction of our lives. It's to understand that the world is not random or chaotic, but deeply ordered, filled with patterns and symbols that point the way forward. When you begin to see these patterns, everything changes. You realize that the challenges you face are not obstacles but opportunities for growth. You see that your struggles, like the rough ashlar, are shaping you into something greater. And you understand that your life, like the great temples and cathedrals of the past, is a work of art, a testament to the power of purpose and vision. The builders of the past left us more than monuments. They left us a message. They taught us that we are all masons, capable of shaping our lives and the world around us. They showed us that the principles of strength, wisdom, and balance are not just abstract ideals, but practical tools for living. And they reminded us that the journey of building is not just about what we create, but who we become in the process. Once you learn to read this language, the world opens up in ways you never imagined. You begin to see connections where before you saw only chaos. You understand that nothing is random, that every detail has meaning. You realize that the same principles that guided the builders of ancient temples can guide you in building a life of purpose and meaning. But have you ever stopped to wonder what truly shapes your life? Underlying patterns guiding our lives. Beneath the surface of our daily routines, decisions, and interactions lies a triad of forces that govern everything we are and everything we become: thoughts, emotions, and actions. These are the three pillars of human development, the foundation upon which the structure of our lives is built. To see these pillars for what they truly are is to uncover the blueprint of the self and begin crafting a life of purpose, clarity, and harmony. Thoughts are the architects of our reality. Every great achievement, every failure, every relationship we nurture or neglect begins in the mind. Thoughts have an incredible power to create or destroy, to build dreams or erect barriers. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius taught the importance of mastering our minds, emphasizing that our life is what our thoughts make it. If you fill your mind with negativity, fear, and self-doubt, your actions will mirror that chaos. But if you nurture thoughts of hope, creativity, and resilience, you begin to see the world as a canvas waiting for your design. The second pillar, emotions, is the energy that propels us forward. While thoughts shape the blueprint, emotions give it color and vitality. Imagine life without joy, love, or even sadness. It would feel hollow, devoid of meaning. But emotions are tricky. Left unchecked, they can overwhelm and mislead, like a river bursting through a dam. Ancient teachings, from Buddhist practices to the writings of Stoics like Epictetus, remind us to observe our emotions without becoming slaves to them. When we learn to acknowledge our feelings without letting them dictate our every move, we harness their energy in ways that uplift and empower them. The final pillar, actions, is where thought and emotion merge into tangible reality. You can dream endlessly and you can feel deeply, but without action, nothing changes. The Buddha once said, "An idea that is developed and put into action is more important than an idea that exists only as an idea." Actions are the chisels we use to shape our lives, turning abstract intentions into something solid and real. Yet, not all actions lead to growth. Some can tear down what we've built if they're impulsive, thoughtless, or driven by unexamined emotions. These three pillars, thoughts, emotions, and actions, are not isolated. They are deeply interconnected, influencing one another in profound and often unseen ways. Consider this: a single negative thought can trigger a cascade of emotions like fear or anger, which in turn might lead to hasty, regrettable actions. Conversely, a positive, empowering thought can inspire hope, which fuels purposeful actions that move you closer to your goals. But to understand these pillars fully, we must also look at the three aspects of the self: body, mind, and spirit. Each aspect is essential, and together they form the complete structure of who we are. The body is our vessel, the physical foundation of our existence. It is through the body that we experience the world, communicate, and take action. Yet, how often do we neglect this vital aspect of ourselves? Ancient traditions, from yoga to martial arts, emphasize the importance of treating the body with respect and nourishing it with proper food, movement, and rest. A strong, healthy body is like a well-built temple. It provides stability and endurance for all that we undertake. The mind is the command center, the architect that organizes our thoughts and makes sense of the world around us. It is through the mind that we interpret our experiences, solve problems, and envision the future. But the mind left untrained can become a source of chaos and confusion. Practices like meditation, journaling, and mindful observation help us cultivate clarity and focus, sharpening our mental faculties so that we can navigate life with greater wisdom. And then there is the spirit, the essence of who we are beyond the physical and mental. The spirit is our connection to something greater, the source of meaning and purpose that transcends the material world. Whether you see it as a divine spark, universal energy, or simply the inner voice that guides you, the spirit is what gives depth to our existence. Without it, life becomes mechanical, a series of tasks performed without passion or purpose. These three aspects, body, mind, and spirit, are like the floors of a great tower. The body is on the ground floor, providing the structure and support. The mind is the middle level, the space where we think, dream, and plan. The spirit is at the highest level, offering a view of the infinite horizon and reminding us of our greater purpose. To live fully, we must care for and harmonize all three. When the three pillars of thoughts, emotions, and actions align with the three aspects of body, mind, and spirit, something extraordinary happens. Life becomes coherent, meaningful, and dynamic. You begin to see patterns in the chaos, opportunities in the challenges, and connections in the seemingly random. You become like the mason, crafting a life that stands as a monument to balance, strength, and purpose. But this journey is not without its challenges. The world is full of distractions, temptations, and illusions that can pull us away from our path. To stay centered, we must cultivate watchful awareness, a skill that allows us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and actions without being swept away by them. This is not about suppressing or ignoring what we feel and think. It's about seeing it clearly and choosing how to respond. When you practice this awareness, you begin to see the invisible patterns that shape your life. You notice the triggers that lead to negative thoughts, the habits that drain your energy, and the beliefs that limit your potential. More importantly, you start to uncover the deeper truths hidden beneath the surface of your daily experiences. Symbols play a vital role in this awakening. Just as the Masons used tools and symbols to teach timeless truths, we too can use symbols to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world. A tree, for example, is not just a tree, it is a symbol of growth, rooted in the earth yet reaching for the sky. A river is not just a body of water, it is a symbol of flow, adaptability, and persistence. To truly see these symbols is to awaken to the interconnectedness of all things. You realize that the same principles that govern the cosmos also govern your life. You see that the challenges you face are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth, like the rough stone waiting to be shaped into a masterpiece. And once you see it, you'll never look at the world or yourself the same way again. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to glide through life with an almost otherworldly grace, while others stumble under the weight of invisible burdens? Watchful awareness. The answer lies in something most of us overlook: watchful awareness. This is not just the act of noticing what is around you, but a deep, almost meditative way of seeing, not just with your eyes, but with your entire being. It is the ability to perceive the unseen, to grasp the invisible patterns that shape your life and the world. To cultivate watchful awareness is to step out of the fog of distraction and into a realm of clarity. In ancient traditions, this heightened perception was often likened to a light piercing the darkness. Buddhists speak of mindfulness, the practice of observing one's thoughts and feelings without judgment. The Stoics called it prosoch, a disciplined attention to the present moment. These teachings are not relics of the past. They are maps, guiding us to a deeper understanding of reality. At its core, watchful awareness begins with stillness. In a world that prizes speed and productivity, stillness feels almost rebellious, but it is only in stillness that you can truly observe. Imagine a pond with water so still that it reflects the sky above perfectly. If the water is disturbed, the reflection becomes distorted and you can no longer see clearly. Your mind works the same way. When it is calm and focused, You begin to perceive the subtle currents of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings. With this awareness, you start to notice patterns that were once invisible. You see how your thoughts influence your actions, how your emotions shape your interactions, and how the environment around you subtly guides your decisions. These patterns are like threads woven into the fabric of your life. Pull one thread and the entire tapestry shifts. Symbols too reveal their hidden meanings when viewed through the lens of watchful awareness. The ancient builders of temples and cathedrals understood this deeply. They embedded sacred geometry and symbolic carvings into their creations, not merely as decoration but as keys to understanding the universe. Take the spiral, for example. It appears everywhere in nature, from galaxies to seashells, and symbolizes growth, evolution, and the interconnectedness of all things. Once you see the spiral in the world around you, you begin to see it within yourself, in the way you grow, the way you learn, and the way your life unfolds. These symbols are not just ancient artifacts. They are living languages speaking to the soul. They whisper truths about the patterns that govern everything, from the orbit of planets to the rhythm of your heartbeat. To learn this language is to awaken to a reality far richer and more profound than you ever imagined. But awareness is not only about recognizing patterns, it is also about understanding their origins and purpose. Why do certain emotions arise in specific situations? Why do we repeat certain behaviors even when they no longer serve us? These questions lead us deeper into the unseen forces shaping our lives. Psychologists call them unconscious biases, while spiritual traditions speak of karmic imprints or the echoes of past experiences. Whatever term you prefer, the truth remains. Much of what drives us lies beneath the surface. With watchful awareness, you can bring these hidden forces into the light. You can see how a fear planted in childhood has grown into a reluctance to take risks, or how a single moment of joy has blossomed into a lifelong passion. This understanding is not about dwelling on the past, but about freeing yourself from its grip. Once you see the patterns, you gain the power to change them. This awareness extends beyond the self. It allows you to see the invisible patterns that shape society, culture, and history. Why do certain symbols recur in the art and architecture of civilizations separated by time and geography? Why do myths and parables from different cultures often convey the same truths? The answers lie in the universal patterns that connect us all. Carl Jung called these patterns archetypes, the shared symbols and motifs embedded in the collective unconscious. The hero's journey, the wise old mentor, the transformative quest, these are not just stories, they are blueprints for growth and self-discovery. When you recognize these archetypes in your life, you begin to see your own story in a new light. You are not just a passive participant in life, you are the hero of your own journey, shaping your destiny with every choice you make. But watchful awareness is not a destination, it is a practice, a way of being. Like any skill, it requires patience, discipline, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. It is not always easy to face the truths that awareness reveals. You may uncover fears you didn't know you had, habits you'd rather ignore, or beliefs that no longer serve you. But with each layer you peel back, you move closer to your authentic self, the self that exists beyond the illusions and distractions of the world. As you deepen this practice, you begin to experience a profound shift. The world no longer feels like a chaotic place full of random events and meaningless symbols. Instead, it becomes a cohesive, interconnected whole. You see how everything fits together, how every experience, no matter how small, contributes to your growth. You begin to trust the process of life, knowing that even the challenges you face are part of a larger pattern. And once you see it, you'll never look at the world the same again. You'll see the beauty in the mundane, the sacred in the ordinary, and the infinite possibilities that lie hidden in every moment. You'll understand that watchful awareness is not just a skill but a gift, one that allows you to live with clarity, purpose, and joy. The journey of awareness is endless, and that is its greatest gift. There will always be more to discover, more patterns to unveil, and more truths to integrate. But each step you take on this path brings you closer to the essence of who you are. You are not a random collection of thoughts, emotions, and actions. You are a deliberate, intricate creation, far grander than you can imagine. This is the gift of watchful awareness. It is the key to unlocking the unseen, the hidden, and the infinite. It illuminates shadows. It reveals truths that were always there, waiting to be seen. And once you see it, you'll never look at the world or yourself the same way again. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.